Hello my dear viewers, welcome to my channel Math Mantra. In today's video, let's see part 2 of validity in research methodology, MPC 005. I have already done a video on validity part 1. If you haven't watched it, please watch it so that you can understand today's topic. In previous video, we have already discussed what is validity, and in types of validity, the first one, content validity, was also covered in part 1. So in part 2, let us see the remaining types of validity. As I have already explained, there are totally 6 types of validity. In today's class, let us see the remaining 5 types of validity. If you are new to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe my channel for more videos. So let's start the topic. The second type of validity is criterion validity. Now let's see what is criterion validity. The test should closely relate to measure of same theoretical concept. That means when we are considering the test, if we have same theoretical concepts, all those tests should always relate with respect to the construct or the measure. For example, if we are considering intelligence test, if you are having a valid intelligence test, it should always relate with any other intelligence test. And in criterion validity, we have two types. One is concurrent validity and next is predictive validity. Now let us see what are these two types of validity. Concurrent validity. Concurrent validity is a degree to which scores on the measure are associated with scores on another measure taken at the same time. That means it is indicating the agreement between two different assessments. One assessment will be already proven while the other assessment will be new. So when we are considering assessments or same as tests, one of the tests must have been already done and the second test will be a new test. And for example, if we consider, when we are considering students attending tests, always there are possibilities of having practical examination as well as written test. So if we consider the students who are scoring good marks for practical examination, if the same students are scoring good marks for their written test, we can say that these two assessments or these two tests have a great concurrent validity, or these two tests have high concurrent validity. So this is the meaning of concurrent validity for the test. We can say the two assessments are in agreement with each other. So I hope the definition of concurrent validity is clear. Now let's see what is predictive validity. Predictive validity tells us how a test or a measure can predict the future behavior. The test scores are correlated with some other variables which can be measured after the test is conducted. So this is something related with after the test is conducted, how the measure can predict the future behavior. Predictive validity is calculated by arriving at a correlation coefficient between the results of the assessment test and the targeted behavior of the test. If the correlation coefficient is strong, then the predictive validity will be high. So hope the definition of predictive validity is clear to all the viewers. Now type 3, construct validity. Construct validity refers to how well a test measures the construct that it was designed to measure. Always a test is designed to measure some construct. So how well the construct is being measured, that is what is tested by using this construct validity. Now let's see what is meaning of construct. Skills, attributes or ability that is based on some established theories are called construct. They are not directly observable but exist in human examples, when we again go into the details, we can see intelligence, motivation, anxiety, and fear. These are some very abstract examples of construct. If a person is nervous, we can observe his restlessness or sweating, but we cannot directly observe his nervousness. Construct can be observed through a collection of related events, and they are very obvious. They are always abstract concepts. So this is how we define construct validity. There are two types of construct validity. The first one is convergent validity. Second is discriminant validity. So let's say what is convergent validity. The extent to which a measure is correlated with other measure which is theoretically predicted to correlate with. So that means when we consider the tests in which the measures are theoretically correlated, by using this convergent validity, we can identify to what extent these measures are correlated. Say for example, if the convergent validity of a measure of self-confidence, if you are considering the measure of self-confidence, the researcher will try to relate similar measures like self-esteem, social skills, self-appraisal, etc. But the other measures like intelligence should not be correlated. Why? Because these measures, when we consider in relation with self-confidence, they are in agreement. Social skills, self-appraisal or self-esteem are in agreement with self-confidence but not with intelligence. So this is what is convergent validity. Next is discriminant validity. This validity explains the extent to which the measure of construct that theoretically should not be highly correlated or highly related to each other are not found to be correlated to each other. That means in the test, when we consider different tests in which those constructs which are theoretically not correlated to each other, are they not exactly correlated in our tests also? This is what discriminant validity measures. The discriminant validity coefficient should be smaller in magnitude than convergent validity coefficient. So these are the different types of validity in terms of construct validity. First one is convergent and second one is discriminant validity. So hope these two validities are clear to you. Now let us pass on to the next type of validity. Fourth one is face validity. Face validity, it has got another name. It's also called logical validity. It is a subjective assessment of whether a test measures or not what it is expected to measure. So when we are conducting a test, there will be some traits which we are going to measure. So this is an assessment which is a subjective assessment which will be measuring whether the test is measuring exactly what it is expected to measure. Take an example. If a test on aptitude to check the arithmetic skills of students will have a strong face validity. When the test has a face value, it appears to measure the basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplications, etc. So this is what the face validity indicates. The fifth validity is internal validity. Internal validity establishes cause and effect relationship between a treatment and an outcome. If a test has internal validity, it clears all the doubts which may be related to the study. Internal validity influenced by number of confounding variables in the study. Confounding variable means they are the external influences which always depend on independent variable as well as dependent variable. Lesser the number of confounding variables, greater will be the internal validity of the test. Internal validity helps the researcher to explain how the results are important to the real world, or what will be the influence of the results, how it can be generalized, how the results can be generalized to the world. Without internal validity, there will not be cause and effect relationship. So this is what is internal validity in research methodology. Hope it is clear to all the viewers. The next one, that is the last type of validity, what we have is external validity. External validity is a generalizability of the result. The result has external validity if the outcomes or the findings or the results of an experiment on people, situation or stimuli can be applicable to the real world. A test is said to have external validity if the sample group is representing the target population. The conclusion derived by the researcher should be effectively generalized to the large population. So if a test has external validity, always the results can be generalized to the larger population, which is always conducted with respect to a small group which can be representing or which has to represent the targeted population. So this is what is external validity of research methodology. That's all for today's video. Hope today's video was helpful for you in understanding what are the different types of validity. If you find my videos are helping you in preparing for the term end examination, please like, share and subscribe the channel. We'll be coming soon with yet another video. Until then, take care. Thank you.